All right, you guys, scooterattvsales.com. We're going to unbox the DB32 110cc Apollo. Check it out, you guys. Hey, you guys, so when they do arrive, DB32 110 by Apollo arrives on a pallet, or there'll be more on here. And we have the box, the crate, right here. As you can see, you got cardboard box over a metal crate. Start on doing the unpacking over here. So get yourself a sharp scissor or a utility knife, and off you go, off to the races. So, the process, take it off. You guys can see, you've got a metal crate wrapped around the dirt bike, secures the dirt bike, no damage. And then you start removing all the nuts and bolts over here that secure the crate, as shown. And then once you do all that, you're going to remove the metal crate and then start unwrapping it and slowly getting close to the dirt bike as you take off all that bubble wrap, and you get some zip tie cutters here. Get the wheel off, organize all your hardware, and it starts becoming self-explanatory. Again, instructions are not included, so you got to use a little common sense. All right, you guys. So we loosened up the screws. Great. Then we start cutting the zip ties. Got the shocks here that are mounted. So you remove that. Lighten up that crate when you start removing it. Got these here. It's mounted on the steering stem. This here is your box of hardware, manual, and other goodies. Okay. See, it's mounted here to create stability while it sits inside the crate. You use an impact, loosen that up here. Okay, so we slowly break this here out. There you go, it's part of the process. Some of you don't have this, but if you do, it definitely makes it a lot more practical. Okay. We loosened all the bolts, nuts and bolts there in the lower crate, except we got this one right here actually. So we will use the impact on that one so you guys see what it's like. Got a 12 over here on the inside. Hold the nut here. So here you go, it's our last one. See now. All right, so we lift it straight out. Some of you guys may want to recycle this. Just help your recycling company to give it away. I mentioned you start unpacking, start exposing. You can see now, you start seeing the dirt bike. A lot of protective bubble over it. Definitely purposely done. Necessary. Start getting your cutters here. Use the front fender. You want to organize, get a table, any kind of table or open area where you can organize your parts on the dirt bike. The handlebars here, you guys. See that here? This here, your foot pegs. both sides. And you see there's a very tight wire that secures the rear wheel here. Undo that. And you want to use this right here. I'm going to set the bike on it with a lift. Set it on it to create stability and start putting it together. Move it over here a little bit. Lift the bike up. Get on it. Voila. See that? Okay. All right, so we got the dirt bike on a stable jack or a stand, as we have a custom-made stand just for this. And from this point, we continue to cut some of the zip ties, opening it up. You can see the handlebars. They're zipped here. This is the DB32, you guys. All the rest of the dirt bikes, they're pretty much all similar. So, let's go from there, you guys. So we start stripping off all the packaging. As you can see, the key comes here inside the switch. That's where you'd find it. You gotta unwrap the handlebars over here from the bubble wrap. But that's the way it looks, you guys. So keep that in mind. Rear wheel is mounted. Now again, check your hardware. You'll find the mounting nut and bolt. Where your shock here, it's loose. Of course, this was all tied up in a zip tie. You gotta cut that out. Carburation over here. So again, all the graphics here are covered up with that protective wrap here, which you're gonna peel off. And that'd be the step. I do recommend, particularly if you're new at this, have an accountability bucket, as we have right here. And so keep your nuts and bolts organized, so you know where everything's at, and you're not going to be missing anything. Of course, here's the badge. Comes in a bubble wrap. This is DB32. It's bubble wrapped as well, and then these are your front shocks we're going to mount here. It's bubble wrapped as well, as shown. All right, okay, front fenders I mentioned, right here. Some more accountability for nuts and bolts right here. I like to always have these around. Again, you guys, if you're new at this, you should have something like this just to put all your hardware in, so you keep it organized. Okay, so I'm taking off the bubble wrap. As I mentioned, all the dirt bikes are pretty much the same, you guys. This is the DB32 110 semi-auto, whether it's the Z20s, X18, X4s, fundamentals and the basics, you're going to do just pretty much all the same stuff. The Z20s, you have to actually put the side panels on here. It's a little bit more tedious, so it takes a little longer. But on the X18 and the X4 and the 32 here, they come with that on already and installed. So it's pretty much what you're going to be doing. It takes a little time. You have the love of labor. So when you order online, this is what you can expect from the crated box. I'm crating it and taking care of this. So this is your little emissions tag, letting you know that it's consumer emissions information hang tag, you guys. This is particularly important in California. So we got our handlebars we're going to put on. We're going to mount the shocks right here. As you guys can see what we're going to be doing over here. Mount the handlebars, the shocks in here, then we're going to put the wheel on in the front, because does not come mounted like the rear. And then we're gonna mount that shock, you guys. Of course, we have the shifter right here we'll be putting on as well. And then the other right side here, foot peg. Okay, you guys, so I'm 3/4 there, and this is how it's gonna look completely assembled. Now all I gotta do is peel off this protective covering here on the graphics. As you can see, sometimes what happens out of the crate, the damage that's it gets here. So not all the time, but it does happen, you guys. Just want to point that out, what to expect. Again, we put the front wheel on, axle, spacers on both sides. We got the fender, we got the badge here that it was installed. Now you see it with the handlebars on. You saw those handlebars wrapped up in bubble wrap just a minute ago. So we got this side here, had to put on the peg here for the foot brake. Got the pegs here, foot pegs. Had to put this sucker on. Got the nice hard plastic here guard. So I got to trim this down a little bit, and then we'll put some gas in it and start her up, you guys. So again, mounted the shock, as you can see, shock's inside there. So we're getting there, 3/4 there, and yeah. So this is what's involved, you guys. We'll see you in a minute. All right, you guys, so this is the finished product. As you can see, where I started and now where I'm finished here. I ran my wrench and all the nuts and bolts. Never assume that anything's tight on these, even though some areas are pre-assembled. Get fender, wheels, badge, handlebars, the finishing touches on it. Took off all that protective layer on the graphics. This right here is all your EPA stuff. Right here, got to rearrange this. Always make sure you check those crankcase hoses, you guys. Important. So finishing touches, you guys. Hope you guys are well. Just want to give you guys a short glimpse on what to expect when you set these puppies up. All the rest of the bikes are pretty much similar, you guys. Whether it's the larger 125s or the 250s or the 140, you guys. This is the DB32, Apollo DB32 110cc semi-automatic. Hope you guys are well. Scooter ATV sales on Instagram, need some parts, scooterATVparts.com. If you need some specific TaoTao parts, it's TaoTao Scooter ATV Parts.com. And we'll see you guys soon.